you don't want to do is have a microphone that's not plugged in.
Exactly.
That's not very helpful, is it?
No. Oh. Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
He's going to intro.
Come on then.
Okay. Hello and welcome back to Chippie Chat. What have we done this week? Where are we up to?
What, we're going to tell them the secrets?
Ah, okay.
Well, if you're following us on the big build, then you'll see that you've been watching some of the oak framing, and obviously that was a few weeks back. So actually we're sitting in the big build here and now. You can see we're a little bit further on, but there's loads of footage to come. Anyway, this isn't about that. This is about Chippie Chat or regular chats, like a podcast. It's just basically what we feel like doing. Hopefully we can engage and entertain you. Ed basically sorts this out. It's his baby and he's going to take the lead here.
No pressure. So we took to Instagram and asked if anyone had any questions for yourself or I. So we have a few. We've got loads actually. So I've just picked out 10, which I think are good subjects that cover most things.
Great.
So the first one is from Central London Chippy, and he asked, what has been the most difficult aspect to the big build so far? That's a good question. That's
yeah,
tricky.
it's a great question. The most difficult aspect, I suppose, for the big build has probably just been actually getting some of the material from where we can get it landed to where we need to build with it. And I think that logistics is such a big part of construction. So generally speaking, on a day-to-day basis, the work's just pretty standard, you know. But some of the, when we got these huge trusses, for example, they came on the lorry, we could only get them so far. We actually had to make like a dolly with large wheels to actually transport them, and then we had to carefully manhandle them up. So things like that is generally difficult, but yeah, okay.
I'd agree with that, yeah. Then Jam the Ham, nice name. Work ethic in young people. How patient are you if they don't seem interested in the job?
That's a good question, and well, you explain what you think my work, what I expect from people with work ethic. You explain from a point of view. Yeah. You're here and you're doing the business.
You're only going to get as much out as you put into it. So if you are not putting any effort or no enthusiasm, you might as well just sweep up. And being in that position, if I was showing someone something, trying to teach them, but they weren't interested, I'd probably just tell them to go and sweep up. Because there might be some areas within carpentry that you might not find interesting, but you need to know it all. And it's all very important. It's something you might not have thought about needing down the line. You will definitely need it. So I think as much as you put into it, you'll get out.
And work ethic in general, I just think that you've just got to be keen. And I know that we all have bad days, and I know that we all sometimes have other things going in our lives where you go to work and you can't stop thinking about what else is going on around you. But actually sometimes, guys and girls, we need to think work is a place to get away from stuff and try to just be in the moment. And I think sometimes that reflects in our work ethic.
That's good. Doug2806. What's the best way to get my Diamondback deluxe suspenders to sit comfortably?
You're an expert.
I'm an expert. Well, I'm a self-proclaimed expert of Diamondback. Maybe check out their YouTube as well. They've got all videos on how to do that. But when I did it, the suspenders have 2 clips on here. So I put the belt on with nothing in the pouches, put the suspenders on, and loosened everything. And then I made sure the back was up to my neck where it needed to be, here, and then adjust the belt likewise. When the belt was sitting comfortably, just lock them in, and that was it for me.
Ed looks good in a pair of suspenders. Right, next question.
From GH Projects, hey Ed, are you doing a NVQ or a 5-day week thing?
That's a good one.
Yeah, so I'm not doing any qualifications, I don't go to college. I am learning through the job with Robin.
Yes, but what I am trying to do for Ed, and this is a really key point, there's loads of really good carpenters, joiners, and indeed other tradespeople who've never had a formal education in a college setting. And there's lots of people, in fact people who've worked with me in the past, who've gone all the way through their training just with me, and they're so qualified by the end of it. They're way more qualified than the level 3 NVQ, which is basically the sort of industry standard nowadays. But I'm actually looking with a couple of colleges how to make Ed's time on site appreciated by the NVQ system and recognised. And so as and when we get more information about that in the future, or indeed if you're in the same position, we'll reach out and tell you our experiences, and it may help you.
Brilliant. Hi guys, sorry, this is from Phil Uptons. Hi guys, can I realistically become a carpenter as a career change in my early 50s?
Well, I think anyone can become, anyone can change their careers. I suppose what it boils down to is, can you afford to learn? And I think that's the big issue here with carpentry and joinery and other crafts, where you've actually got to learn a skill, and it's such a broad skill. I think that I do know people who have, excuse me while I drop my glasses, I do know people who have had changes of careers. One of my customers some years ago, great guy by the name of Larry, he was, you know, high up in the city, MD of a company. Things changed for him, and in his 50s he decided to do a little bit of property developing, buying and selling a few properties, and within a couple of years he was a really competent type carpenter. You know, it was amazing. And I used to do his roof structures, and then he came along and he just started joining in and everything else. So yeah, you can do it, but you need a bit of money behind you and time.
Yeah, I think it's circumstantial. I'm in a career change. I used to be a chef. I was a chef for 5 years, and my career change is carpentry. So if you're in a position to do it, then, and to learn, and if you want to do it, then do it.
Absolutely.
Next we have from Carpentry by Jake. How do you get fully confident in your work? That's a brilliant question.
What do you think?
By something that you've done before and you know before. If you've done something a few times, I would feel confident within it. If it's my first time, there's always that doubt and lack of confidence.
But even if I'm going on a job, you know, let's say I've been invited to come and do something for a couple of days, and I turn up and things are a little bit iffy, and you think, actually this is gonna, you know, this could make me look like a right idiot, this job, because they've got this wrong, that wrong, I've got to start doing this, and actually that knocks your confidence. It never goes away. I don't think it ever goes away. I just think you have to manage your own mental expectation on that one.
Yeah, I'd agree. Isaac Sam says, who's your favourite joiner?
Isaac Sams. Now he's the guy from New Zealand, Australia, yeah, and he's got a great Instagram account, and some of the work that he does in the joinery is absolutely fantastic. So Isaac, I'd say you're probably my best or my favourite Instagram joiner.
And he's got a VW as well, so that's bonus points for him. Morris Maintenance said, if you could have another career besides carpentry, what would it be?
If I could have another career?
Yeah, if you had
okay, if I could have another career other than carpentry, well, if you'd have asked me that 15 years ago when things were particularly difficult, you know, there was the work was difficult to come by, and when you did get work the prices were bad, I would have said all day long I'd like to be a banker, because always it was like bankers I'd ever be working for. They had the big houses and the nice houses, but actually now I've hit my early 50s and I really love my job. It keeps me fit. I love the craft. So, but if someone came along with a magic wand and said, "What do you want to do? If you've got anything that you can do," maybe it would be something, you know, like pilot or something really exciting like that.
Yeah. This was my career. This was my dream career change. So I'm lucky I've got to that point. What is the most beneficial tool upgrade that Robin's seen over the years? This is from Wakai Carpenter.
Well, that's pretty easy. When I started out, I bought my first circular saw, which was Hitachi, now Hikoki C9U. It's just called a C9U, and it was a circular saw. It weighed 6 kilos. The reason I bought it is because Becky, wife, then girlfriend, liked the colour of it when we went to the tool shop together. I said, fine, that's good. I never, you know, I could have tried any one of the saws, but that's the one I went for. But now, obviously, with 18-volt, super powerful battery circular saws, such as, you know, like this, for example, this is kind of replacing my corded stuff, you know. So I'd say that the circular saw for me has been the biggest change.
Carpentry by Jake asks, is the rear-handed saw that much different to the regular skill saw?
Well, Jake, I reckon that here's a regular, okay? Sorry,
I've got the regular.
He's got the regular, and here's the rear. Now, I could never understand why in America, for example, they've been using the worm drive. This isn't a worm drive, but it's a rear handle. And I thought to myself, well, what's the big deal? Okay, this is a lefty and that's a righty, so we've got the or the other way around, the blades on the left, blades on the right, or whatever. Anyway, when I first picked this up and started using it, I was thinking, I just don't get it. Then all of a sudden something clicked with me, and I just think the visibility's better. The weight distribution's really quite good, and also it's got a particularly narrow base, and that seems to be quite an advantage as well. Great for ripping sheets down, that sort of stuff. And there's obviously the more traditional sort of style. There's not a great deal in it. I just find that more comfortable.
I will always, whenever I reach for a saw, I will always go for a rear handle.
A rear handle.
And it's just the way that it lines up for your body, and everything kind of lines up real nice.
And talking of a proper worm drive, I was lucky enough to have a good mate of mine called John Costello, who we did a video. I just called in on him one day, and he gave us a little sort of talk, and at the end of it, he gave me like an original skill saw. And it's we've ordered the oil for it now. I've got a brand new blade for it, so what we'll do at some point is actually bring it onto site. We'll change the oil in it, we'll put the new blade on it, we'll fire it up, and we'll give it a go, and we'll probably film that as well.
The whole body is metal. It's really
it's
interesting
beautiful,
to
beautiful
use.
bit of kit.
And then the last question from Josh Carpentry: what are your essential tools that every chippy should have in the van? Power tool and hand tool. You go first with two, then I'll go follow after.
The most essential tool, well, there's many, because without one you can't do the other. But obviously a tape measure. Yeah, you need a tape measure. But I can measure lots of things without a tape measure, just by using a bit of wood as a rod, as you all know. So tape measure, obviously a hand saw. You need to measure, you need to mark, you need to cut a combination square. You need to then mark something square. There's so many. I think you need at least 20 hand tools. And power tools, I think everyone needs to have a drill driver, or a drill driver and an impact driver and a circular saw. With those sort of things you can cut, you can attach, and of course a hammer, guys.
So I would go, despite all the obvious ones that you need, I would say for a hand tool would be the roofing square, the framing square, because there is so much that you can do with that. You can square things off, you can cut a whole roof just from that. You obviously need a pencil, but you count as a hand tool. And for a power tool, I'd probably say a table saw. Because the things we've been able to do with the table saw, rip things down, make things fit, make things match, especially when you're renovating. I think that's a really essential tool to have, to make everything fit together, and it can do so many tasks.
It certainly can.
So yeah, that's what I'd say.
So that was about 10 questions.
That was about 10, I think so, yeah.
But that was from quite a big group. So if we didn't get to any of those questions, we were really sorry. But we had to kind of pick, or Ed picked 10 anyway. But talking about tools, I know that Ed's keen on visiting. What was it?
Yeah, Sandown. There's a big tool fair at Sandown Race Park on the 4th and 5th of November, I think, so a week or so. Yeah, I love a tool fair.
Yeah.
Toys, isn't it? It's nice. And I'm interested to see DeWalt brought out a new battery platform called Power Stack. And yeah, everyone's been raving about it. So I'd really love to see that hands-on and close up and see the difference in the new technology.
One question, I know it's not a question, but people often say to me about which platform, you're using this one day, you're using that the other day, but actually another classic example of some platforms have a tool that you really want that you haven't got their platform. So for example, I don't have a massive amount of Bosch, but just recently I was looking for a particular saw for roof battening, a small blade. It's about 100mm, similar to a small angle grinder, but a lot more safe. In fact, it looks like an angle grinder, and I bought that because it's the only thing out there. And so, I had to go out and buy it. But the build quality, I haven't picked anything DeWalt up for absolutely ages, and the build quality was unbelievable. It's a one-off saw that they've made, I think, for doing this particular job. The build quality is beautiful.
You said Bosch at the beginning, but it's DeWalt. It's a DeWalt saw.
Did I say Bosch?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, their build quality.
I just save everyone in the comments writing, you said Bosch.
Their build quality is pretty good as well. Anyway, guys, Chippie Chat, this is sort of number 3.
Yes, yeah.
Number 3. Suggestions for the future, and also we'll probably take it out a bit on tour maybe, and maybe invite people in
definitely.
to Chippie Chat.
I think we'll do a bit on the tool fair maybe, potentially.
Yeah, and I'm doing some trips to colleges soon to talk all about my work, and also hopefully inspire some of the new entrants that are coming in. And that's basically where colleges have reached out to me and said, would you come and have a chat with the guys? Of course I'll do it. It's a bit difficult for me if it's up the other end of the country, but again, we might be able to come to some sort of agreement. Maybe a manufacturer might say, we'll come with you and cover the costs or something, just for the fuel.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do that as well.
Brilliant.
All right.
Did you have a little secret surprise?
Oh, a secret. Yeah, I have actually got something, but I didn't want to mention it too much. But this is like fairly exclusive to you guys on Chippie Chat. Now, what this is a solid aluminium hinge jig. This is exactly the same as the MDF version that we've been selling now since March of this year at the website. And this has been made from a single billet of aluminium, so it's been milled from a single billet of aluminium. Then it's been anodized in this particular color. This is a color, we're trying to find a color that matches no other brand, which is really difficult. So that's basically a sneak preview of that. They're not for sale. They are going to be for sale potentially, not sure when. And this is another one. This is a thicker gauge, it's super heavy. And again in another colour. So as and when we get a bit further along with that, I will sort of let you know. And I know that people have been asking me about whether I'll be making a metal hinge jig, and for everyone that has bought a hinge jig from me, I really would like to thank you. It's helping me take the time to produce video, to train Ed, to do all kinds of things that I might otherwise not have the time for.
Yeah, thank you. That's been Chippie Chat. I've been Ed.
I've been Robin.
Thank you. Join us soon.
See you later. Right, we're going to restore this. We're going to get this. I mean, it's beautiful. Look, John. Can can you loan it to me?
No, this is a presentation for you.
Thanks, mate. I don't know what to say really. I mean, to have a piece of kit like this, I'm going to have that in my study.